everyone, Pam Gregory, astrologer. I'm going to be speaking to you today about the first half of August and the new moon in Leo that we have coming up on the 8th. But I'm also going to be talking more broadly about developments in the coming months, because I believe that we're entering a stormy few months at the 3D level. And August is very obvious with that, because it's very dominated by a lot of Aquarian and Uranian energy. Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius in modern astrology, so that their symbolism is very, very similar. Many of you will know this, but this is a kind of discontinuous, eruptive, surging energy. So either Aquarius or Uranus are linked to earthquakes, volcanoes, literal or political or financial. They're linked to protests. It's a revolutionary urge for change. We've seen massive protests all over the world, in particularly the last weekend, but really ongoing through recent months, and they will, I believe, continue. So it is this pushback, this resistance. It's about disclosure, truths coming to light, awakenings of people, and the awakenings often happen as a result of the truths coming to light. It's about freedom, very strongly about freedom, about human rights, about the future, about galactics, about the internet, about cyber cutouts, power outages as well, because of this interruptive, discontinuous energy. And it's very clear how that's happening, and I'm going to go on to talk about that in more detail in just a moment. But just to stick to this Aquarius energy for a moment, this is wonderful for building communities, building collaboration. As I say, it's very linked to the science as well. There'll be a lot of talk about the science in August. This is going to be a speedy month, because we have the Sun and Mercury in Leo. Whenever they're in fire signs, fire is quick. And we also have Mercury moving quickly itself, moving through 3 signs in the month, through Leo, through Virgo, and into Libra by the 30th. So there's a feeling of events unfolding very quickly. And that's really from the kind of get-go, because on the 3rd of August, we have Mercury squaring Uranus. By the 6th, we have the Sun squaring Uranus as well. So they're highlighting this Uranian principle. And so there could be shocks, surprises. It could be quite unstable. August could be really quite an unstable period at the 3D level. Then we have our new moon. We have this on the 8th of August at 6:49 a.m. Pacific and 2:49 p.m. UK time. And this is happening at 16 degrees, 14 minutes of Leo. So see where this falls in your chart. If you don't know, you can download a free birth chart from my website. If you go to the description below, you'll then find a link by which you can buy a 2-part video series, and that will explain from zero but comprehensively how to find the meaning of any update I ever do. And that's really the beginning of your astrological journey. Now, Leo energy, one of the big themes is creativity. And so because this is a new moon, this is a perfect time in the month to set a new intention for what you want to manifest in your life. So where are you planting this new seed of creativity in your life? See which house it falls in your chart. Where is this surge of new creativity going to come from? And what is really propitious here is the 8th of August is the Lionsgate portal. So we have a new moon of creativity right on the Lionsgate portal. The portal really is opening us up to higher timelines. And that's really exciting, because that is where we are headed. So at this new moon, we have very strong Uranus energy, because we have Jupiter, which is now reversed, retrograded into Aquarius, as well as Saturn. And we have Sun, Moon, Mercury in Leo. We also have Uranus in Taurus. In total, we have 6 planets in fixed signs. So this will give great tenacity to anything we're doing. It can add to this intractability feeling that we are at odds, we're completely at odds with other people in society, because it's a square between Saturn and Uranus here, which this new moon is highlighting incidentally. So, but it does give great determination, grit, Stick to your plans, stick to your vision. That's the kind of feeling. Now, this Aquarius energy, which is going to be, as I say, very strong throughout the month. We just had a full moon in Aquarius on the 23rd, 24th of July. We're having another full moon, quite unusual, in Aquarius again on the 22nd of August at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So that's why this Aquarius energy is so strong through the month, and Uranus being highlighted too. Now, as well as the things I've talked about, Aquarius energy is also linked to higher mind, science, higher mind. And in its shadow state, it can be cold, detached, can be kind of quite detached technology, invisible technology, let's say. And so to optimize the Aquarian energy, we need heart. We actually need its polarity. We need Leo energy, because as well as creativity, one of the other big themes of Leo is the heart. So Leo energy is about love, passion, joy for life, warmth, vibrancy. This is about finding your passion and shining your light brightly. And when that can happen, it brings this kind of very human quality, this warmth and passion, in combination with the Aquarian energy. Then we can optimize that Aquarian energy. And then the Aquarian energy will start to optimize and produce, be linked to Kundalini energy and the activation of the third eye. Because the third eye is really our portal to intergalactic communication. That's going to be coming online more and more as people activate this third eye. However, this can really only happen when our energy is very coherent. And how do we get into those feelings of coherence, that energy of coherence? Well, we need to feel love, joy, peace, compassion, gratitude, and appreciation. And when we do that, wherever we are, for free, if we just step into those feelings, then HeartMath, in America, the HeartMath Institute, done a huge amount of research on the heart, scientifically, physiologically, spiritually, really, energetically, say that when our energy is coherent, it dramatically strengthens our heart field. And the heart field can be up to 100 times stronger than the field of the brain. We know that the heart sends more information to the brain than the brain does to the heart. But what that does, that coherent energy, when we have a strong heart field, is not only boost our immune system, it boosts the health of every single cell in our body, but it also enables us to broadcast those very loving, positive emotions to the world. And the way we know that is that HeartMath has sensors. They've had for many, many years sensors. I think it's called the Global Coherence Initiative, all over the world. And this is a quote from HeartMath, which I'm going to read you about what they say about this, which is so interesting for us. Collective human consciousness affects the global information field. Therefore, large numbers of people creating heart-centered states of care, love, and compassion will generate a more coherent field environment that can benefit others and help offset the current planetary discord and incoherence. Now, isn't that interesting? So as I say, for free, wherever we are, we can step into those positive feelings, not only benefit ourselves, but be benefiting the collective in every moment. Because this heart energy of Leo is so powerful. It's vibrant, it's creative vitality, it's exuberance. What it also is linked to is courage, strength, power, tenacity, because it's fixed. It's conviction, it's standing tall and beaming out love. This is hero energy. Leo is never victim energy, it is hero energy. And this is what we need right now. So this is incredibly positive. Now, at this new moon, the sun and moon always together, a new moon, are at 16 degrees, 14 of Leo. That means that they are highlighting the Saturn-Uranus square, because the Sun and Moon at 16 of Leo are opposing Saturn at 9 degrees of Aquarius and squaring Uranus at almost 15 degrees of Taurus. So if you personally have anything in your birth chart, any planets or angles between 9 and 14 degrees of the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, you're going to be feeling, particularly this Saturn-Uranus square at the moment. See where Aquarius falls in your chart. Saturn is moving there. That might feel quite controlled or constricted. But see where Taurus falls in your chart, where Uranus is moving more slowly. But that is, an urge for freedom. That is rebellious. That's revolutionary energy that wants to shake things up. This whole process that may feel chaotic and destabilized is about breaking down to break through. I've talked about the demolition site for well over a year now, that we have to break down the old systems because that's what is meant to be happening astrologically, and beyond that in other ways I'll come on to talk about in a moment. But we have to break down the old to make room to fully birth the new. And this will happen to many systems. I personally believe it will happen if we look at the systems that have been there all through our lives, permanent apparently and foundational. The education system, the financial system, the medical system, the legal system, the political system, and more probably. But they are all up for a shake-up in big, big, big ways. And that is going to continue through the months and years. And I believe it should be complete, really, by about 2024 when Pluto fully leaves Capricorn, because Capricorn is those old established structures as well. So this is very interesting, but it isn't chaos without purpose. It is chaos with great purpose. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. There's so much to say in this video. So the Sun and Moon are opposing Saturn and squaring Uranus, but they are in much tighter aspect to Uranus because it's only kind of virtually 1 degree apart, just over 1 degree apart from that exact square, whereas they're a few degrees off from that opposition to Saturn. So again, this highlights Uranus and all that that brings. So we could see around the time of this new moon in Leo, something shocking, surprising, sudden, chaotic, any of the things I was talking about at the beginning. Could be any of those, because Uranus was the planet of surprises, so you can never quite predict what the event will be in Uranus because it's always a bit of a rug pull. It will always surprise you. So again, Uranus is highlighted, and Uranus is the planet of the future, the planet of the galactic. And in this square between Saturn and Uranus, I've mentioned before that ultimately Uranus will always win because it's the further out planet. Saturn really rules the limits of our 3D tangible existence because we can see it with the naked eye. So that's one of the reasons Saturn rules limits and borders and boundaries and that kind of thing. But beyond that, which we can't see with the naked eye, is Uranus. It's going beyond linear time and space, beyond the 3D, and that is where we are headed with all of this Aquarian and Uranian energy. Now, something else I'd like to talk about here, because several people have written and asked me about it, and I've mentioned these things before, but for clarity, I'm going to repeat them because they feed into all of the themes we're talking about here. We know that our solar system is moving through a different area of space. And what that means is over our entire lifetime, we have had in space this area called the magnetic cloud or the magnetic shield. And imagine it like a cotton wool buffer, if you like. Because we are moving into a different area of space, that magnetic shield has dropped significantly. And what that means is we have much more cosmic and galactic energy coming onto the Earth than we've ever had. Well, actually for thousands of years, but certainly in our lifetime. We are having these surges of photonic energy from our sun pouring onto our Earth in big waves, big surges. We're all probably aware that we have had much more, many more solar storms, many more coronal mass ejections, and these are really the buildup of magnetic energy that then, boom, erupt. And if the sun is Earth facing at that time, it can hurl a coronal mass ejection at Earth, and that can disrupt satellite systems, power grid systems, that kind of thing. So, and that's very Uranian, very unexpected, because it's very hard to judge when they are coming. And Uranus is also the planet linked to magnetics. So what these surges of photonic energy are doing, this is very high frequency crystalline light. I mean, I can actually see this very white light, and many of you can, which is so different from the kind of softer golden light we've had in the past. Now that is upgrading every cell in our body. It's bringing our DNA back online. And the question then comes, how much light can we retain, can we hold in our body, because it's coming in for us? How much can we keep? And the amount we can keep depends on your frequency. We're always back to frequency. So this is why it's so exciting for us, but it's a very rapid upgrade. It's a very fast moving ascension. And I've mentioned before, I'm kind of dowsing and measuring this. It's just extraordinary. Again, it's going in discontinuous jumps. But the photonic energy doesn't just affect us. It is also clearly affecting the Earth because of these changes in weather patterns, in extreme Earth events, in solar storms, in coronal mass ejections. But we can see it clearly in the increased strength and amplitude in the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of the Earth. We're getting these surges in strength and amplitude. And because we as humanity are sandwiched between these surges of photonic energy coming in and the Earth itself upgrading, we have to upgrade with it. We have no choice. And then the question individually, as I say, is how much light can you hold in your body? But this is why things can become quite chaotic. And Uranus itself is not only linked to magnetics, but linked to chaos as well, because it's this function of breaking down to break through. And I talked about Eris a lot in the past 2 videos, so you can go back and check out what I said about her symbolism. By the way, people often get confused when I say Eris, E-R-I-S, which is a dwarf planet way out in space. They think I'm saying Aries, which is A-R-I-E-S, which is a fire sign, a zodiac sign as opposed to a dwarf planet. So they sound similar when I say them. They do have symbolic, archetypal similarities, but we're talking about different things here. So, and by the way, everybody born now or living now has Eris in Aries because it's so slow moving, 560-year orbit. So Eris is the goddess of chaos, again, chaos and discord. And yes, she's the street fighter. Yes, she kicks off, but it is not without purpose because she's the female goddess of awakening. She wants every voice to be heard. People who are marginalized on the periphery of society, she wants them to be heard, and she wants justice. She wants to bring justice for whatever inequality has taken place. That's very interesting. But what I didn't know about Eris, which I discovered just the other day, is that she was the patron saint of chaotic creation. Now, isn't that interesting? Because if we look at chaos theory in physics, this is when you see phase transitions, changes of state. And Eris, of course, is linked to shifts of the ages and paradigm shifts, particularly when she's in hard aspect to outer planets like Pluto. So she is helping us in a very lively way, a very chaotic way, to shift also to this evolutionary shift. Eris is part of that too. And so when matter disintegrates or changes state, there's a kind of freeing up of the energy before it forms another state. If you think almost how water boils and there's a freeing up of the energy at that point before it changes state into steam. And this is what's happening. So the energy is being freed up because, as I've said many times, our future is not set. We are creating it in every moment. So I love this idea of chaotic creation, because this is really where we're at, of systems breaking down that we've known for a lifetime, energy being freed up, and then us using that energy, that that plasma, if you like, that pre-matter blueprint to create a much more beautiful future by holding coherence in our energy system through love, joy, peace, compassion, gratitude, appreciation. Hug a child, hug a dog, hug a tree. Simple stuff, nothing complicated. So this to me is very exciting. Now, we can't go back, we know that, that's all. And whenever you feel fear, and I know there are a million reasons to feel fear right now, believe me, we are all living in 3D. You know, all of us are living in the world. And this is a very difficult time at 3D to different degrees, depending on where you are in the world, in society. But the more you can get into this feeling of coherence, it acts almost like bubble wrap to some extent. It acts to a large extent as a buffer for what's going on out there. I mean, as I've said many times, I haven't listened to mainstream news now for about 18 months. I just feel more and more distant, really, from mainstream society. And I think what's important here is to find an anchor with all of the kind of crazies that are going on. Find an anchor where you feel absolutely centered. Is that meditation? Is it breath work? Is it, for me, it's bare feet on the grass or sitting on the earth, you know, woomph, just decompressing my energy and getting out of the head and into the body, just woomph, loving the earth for all she gives us, because she's evolving too. She's in a state of flux. And so the earth, what is amazing here, and I wrote quite a lot about this in my first book, is from the far galaxy to every cell in our body, we are connected. Everything and everyone is connected. So I know we're going through a time of huge polarity, but ultimately this is going to take us to unity consciousness, because everyone and everything is connected, and you can't get away from that. But this is a very exciting new moon. As I said, it's creative. It's about heart energy, and the more we can get that coherent, the better we'll feel and the people around us will feel. It's about courage, power, strength, conviction, standing tall and beaming out love. It's about light. It's about shining your light brightly. That's exactly what we need to do right now. Not only retain all this crystalline energy and light that's coming in, but to retain it so we can beam it back out to the world as well. But we've already integrated it. I hope I'm making sense. I'm covering a lot of ground in a short time. Okay, so coming back to this new moon specifically, as I said, the new moon is highlighting the Saturn-Uranus square. We also have a beautiful aspect of Mercury, 23 of Leo, opposing Uranus at 28 of Aquarius. This is big thinking, blue sky thinking, big future horizons. It will really help us to think up amazing future possibilities for ourselves and for humanity, because we're thinking much more of humanity as a collective group now, not in any homogeneous way, very much that we are a unique spark with something absolutely unique to offer to the collective, that kind of way. Another beautiful aspect here at the new moon is we have Venus at 20 of Virgo opposing Neptune at 22 of Pisces. This is about beauty and aesthetics, but very detailed beauty, something practical and tangible and detailed, like embroidery or weaving, or that's incredibly detailed and incredibly beautiful. Mars is also in Virgo. That's about getting the practical details right. And as we move into the 10th of August, we have Mars in square, T-square to the nodal axis, 7 of Virgo, North Node 7 of Gemini. This can be that Mars assertion will come onto the public stage, the collective in a bigger way that day. By the 14th, Mars is in hard aspect to Pluto. And that same day, the moon is highlighting the Saturn-Uranus square yet again. So the Mars-Pluto aspect is again about individual assertion, individual demand for rights, again hitting up against Pluto in Capricorn, top-down rules and regulations and authority. So we have an immense amount going on. But as I say, in the square between Saturn and Uranus, although it's messy and chaotic, Uranus ultimately wins, because the drive of Uranus to the future is absolutely irresistible and unstoppable. And what I just find exciting, and I know it's going to be very, very difficult at the 3D level to different degrees, depending on who we are and where and how we live. And but to me, it's exciting. I got very excited discovering that Eris is the goddess of chaotic creation, because it is this surge we're feeling of human evolution, this massive wave of human evolution, which isn't just astrological, isn't just supported by the planets that I'm sharing with you every time. It's supported by the cosmology and the physics. That's what's amazing about this. So really do keep your vision, step into that Leo energy of creativity, love, passion for life, shining heart, coherence of your heart field. And we will move through this more quickly than you anticipate. So I hope that's helped you. If you want more information about my books or my videos, teaching videos, please just go to my website, pamgregory.com. I'm actually changing the way I do the newsletter very, very soon. I'll be writing to my subscribers about that. But there's a lot there on that website, pamgregory.com. So I hope all this has been helpful. It is very exciting that the universe is helping us in this evolutionary leap, which is so meant to be at this time. And that's why we're all here. So God bless, have a wonderful, creative new moon in Leo, and keep shining your light. Bye for now.